Well, welcome back to another Run Disney Rundown. We are here to talk all things pre-wine and dine. If you are watching already in the chat, please feel free to comment. Let us know what you're running, what you're training for, how it's going, all of that fun stuff. But as you'll also notice, Katie and I are not alone. We are joined by our friend Steve. Steve, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. It's been a while.
Absolutely. We thought it'd be fun to bring a guest, especially one well loved to the show, on to get this kicked off.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah, so a little bit of housekeeping before we jump right into Wine and Dine. First off, thank you to our Patreons who help support and make the show happen each week. You can help support the show at patreon.com/mousegen. We have one tier, super simple, keep it fun, but we get exclusive videos, early launches for videos, all of that fun stuff. Thank you to the probably many Patreons who are already in here watching. We appreciate you and your support. Second of all, though, if you want to support the channel and get something back as well, we have merch in the links down below. There is a link to our merch shop. We're taking pre-orders for singlets. If you've seen us at the race weekend, you've seen us wearing them. They're super cool, super lightweight, perforated, and we have 3 designs you can pre-order. We have the what I'm calling from the generic section here. We have beacons, which is my favorite of the 3. And then you can do hard things, our dopey jersey. So again, pre-orders are open for those. If you don't want to wait for something though, our hats actually came in already, which we are super stoked for. I was not expecting to have them before Wine and Dine. But they are the same hats that we've had before. The head split hats, super great running hat. The little clip hides away in the back there, which is awesome. And then we did get them stitched this time. So we have 2 colors available. We have black and we have navy this time. And they turned out super great. We're super excited. If you do want those, we do have pickup options for Wine and Dine for the hats, and then Marathon Weekend for hats and the singlets, as well as shipping options. If you order just a hat, they will ship out right away. If you order a hat and a singlet or just a singlet, that will obviously ship once everything is in stock. So if you want some cool swag to represent and wear at your next Run Disney race, please go over to the shop and check it out. And then, of course, Katie is doing some fundraising.
Yep, we have to talk about fundraising. So the month of October is very special to me for multiple reasons. One, it's my birthday month. My birthday's on Friday. 2, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which has been something I've been really passionate about since I was in high school. My sorority's philanthropy was breast cancer education and awareness. And now that I'm working with and fundraising for American Cancer Society, it's still like one of the most special months that I get to participate in. So from now until the end of the month of October, if you give a donation of any amount, you'll be entered into a drawing where you can win a Mouse Gen hat, a Mouse Gen jersey, and then the third item that we're gonna do a raffle for is a $100 Disney gift card. So 3 great prizes. I will say for the hat and the jersey, I'll let you pick. If you want a hat, if you want a jersey, you can just let me know. But if you want to help me celebrate my birthday, I would love just even a couple dollars would be great to help wrap up my Dopey fundraiser, which is what this fundraiser is for. So it would be a lovely way to celebrate. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. And then before we jump into the Wine and Dine fun, one more thing to talk about real quick is we have Marathon Weekend medal reveals that happened just last week. So we'll go through these real quick. I think this is a really cool set if you're running Dopey with the books on the bottom, a really nice theme that all ties together. 5K with Pluto, one of my favorites of the weekend. I just love that yellow and purple color scheme for it. 10K over on the right with the Chip and Dale, the mystery theme there. And then the half marathon, you've got the romance theme in the center there with Donald and Daisy. And then moving on to the big three here, the marathon medal right in the center. My favorite medal of the weekend. Beautiful medal. I think it looks really awesome, especially with that like yellow gold accents around the outside. And then, of course, you got Goofy on the right there representing sports. And then, what's that?
It's just funny the way you said sports. I don't know.
Sports. And then good old Dopey on the left there. Nice big medal with Dopey holding all the little medals. Any thoughts?
Yes, I'm really excited for these. I'm a book girly, so just the theme overall was always exciting to me, and I was excited to see these, and I think they lived up to my expectation. I think they're great.
Steve, what do you think of these medals?
I think they're awesome, man. I think they did a great job. I have Mandalorian over my shoulder over here. I don't know if you can see him. He's making an appearance.
What's up, Mando?
He's clearly trying to champion to have Star Wars themes come back, which
we support that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it needs to be a once every 5-year thing. All right, you made your appearance.
Supposed to take off the helmet. Like the main rule.
Oh, that is sacrilege.
They have like one rule
that everyone breaks.
Yes. No, these medals are great, man. I think they did a great job on these no notes. Like, and to add, the theme is pretty cool, and it'll be my wife's first marathon.
Oh, I did not realize your wife was running as well.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So, and she's totally into the theme too, so she approves. Yes, yeah, so it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be very, very happy.
Awesome. Well, if you guys are running marathon, let us know what medals you're excited for, even if you're not, and let us know how your training's going as well over in the chat. As always, ask questions and comment, chat, all of that fun stuff. It makes the show more lively, but we will move into the main segment of the show, Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend. I would like to call it the kickoff to the Run Disney season, but we have already had Halloween Half Marathon already. But we will start where all weekends begin, the expo. So first off, expo, you got open 3 days, the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday opened bright and early at 10 a.m., open till 7 p.m. Friday, you have 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then Saturday, you are open 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then if you are going that first day, the Thursday, they are utilizing the virtual queue as they have done for many race weekends now. We're not super new to this, but you can access that on the My Disney Experience app. You can get in for the morning drop at 8:30 a.m. And then there is also a 1 o'clock drop that you can do. So if you know that you are not going to be there until after that, you can do that 1 o'clock drop. Otherwise, be ready at 8:30 a.m. for the Battle Royale. That's how you're going to get your Disney merch, how you're going to get into the Brooks launch, and all of that fun stuff. Steve, when are you going to the expo?
Saturday as late as possible. I just go in. Yeah, I browse around the merch a little bit. I'm so bad about it. You guys know. My reward is seeing all you lovely faces and everything. It's definitely not usually the t-shirts, which half of them end up in the trash for me. It's so
Last
bad.
time at springtime, because I know you had like rope drop springtime. I came later in the day and I didn't even go into the merch hall. And it's so like just quick and easy to do it that way if you don't care about the merch.
Oh yeah, showing up later is so easy.
Which, to be honest, like I'm not a fan of the merch this time. So I'm sure we'll go in just to take pictures and stuff, but not tempted by anything.
Can we talk about though? There is something really cool. Is the Stitch themed Brooks shoe?
Oh, I meant to add that. Yeah, so Brooks already sneak peeked one of their shoes they'll be launching at the event, the Stitch shoes, and I thought the little details on it were really nice.
Yeah, I don't need Stitch shoes, although I am happy that hopefully they do another maybe color in the glycerins, because I do like the glycerins, but it is cool. The little details and such were nice. I'm just not a Stitch stan, I guess.
Yeah, and every launch of shoe has been a different Brooks style shoe. I like that we're seeing different shoes. I have the Ghost Maxes, and I think it's the regular Ghosts or the Glycerins or something that are for the Disneyland shoes back behind me. And we should still see a like Wine and Dine theme shoe as well,
Yeah,
which will
that's
be
what I'm
exciting.
excited to see. And then to see if they do like a new year of like either a Mickey Minnie or a different character, or if they do a new year of like the basic Run Disney, color way or something.
Somebody in the comments or somebody watching may know, you guys may know. I think they said they had the Ghost Max 2 on the generic like Run Disney and the Mickey Minnie stuff. This is the last iteration or the last time I think they're making an appearance. I'm pretty sure it was either
Yeah,
this
so
time or
all
Disneyland.
three
So
of
that's
those
it.
are retiring after Wine and Dine weekend, which I think we'll
Yes.
probably see like just a new generic style shoe that just aligns with whatever Brooke's new shoe is, along with
Yeah.
whatever the style of Run
They'll-
Disney is.
They'll have
Yeah, so I could say that they already released the Ghost Max 3. So if you guys are really want to do your homework, take a look at that shoe ahead of time. It's possible that they use that again to do designs, and just go to your local run store, support it, try it on, see if you like it. I don't know. I know you could the trying on and taking out of the shoes seemed to work out really well from what I heard. You guys bought them, obviously. I did not.
Yeah,
So
we went through the process at springtime and it was easy. Brooks
yep.
really like had a great layout and a great setup for it. We loved it.
I think it's great. I've always said that I wanted a bigger company, like backing a lot of Run Disney gear. So even though I don't think a lot of these shoes or some of the designs, maybe not specifically for me, I am totally a champion of like just doing this over and over again. I hope the partnership really works out and it works for everybody. So
yeah.
it's
I
good stuff.
agree. And we'll see this will be the first race weekend where we've usually had long sleeve shirts, and Brooks will be doing it. So we don't know if they will. Well, it might say in registration whether it's is or isn't, but it'll be a Brooks shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love if they switched to all short sleeves. I'll be honest.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's something that people have commented on a lot. But you're gonna get, people who want the short sleeve, like the Floridians, who are always hot, and then some people like the long sleeves.
I would be a-okay with all short sleeves.
Who aren't from here.
This is the first time I think we're running collectively, or at least for me. This weekend doesn't land on New York City Marathon weekend. It doesn't land on daylight savings, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a week earlier, and the potential to be warmer, possibly, as a result. So let's hope for some short sleeves. Who knows?
Although last year, I remember the week before, so like the week that it is this year, the week before in Florida was like beautifully cold, I remember.
Yeah, we have a nice week this week too down in Florida.
It is. Let's hope it stays, guys, because
it has to last.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know how I feel about the heat.
Well, let's jump back into this. So we have the larger expo map here. Of course, you enter over by the parking lot on the bottom there by building A. That's going to be your Run Disney and your Brooks launch merch there. That is the one you need the virtual queue to get into. Going up the path up to the top of the hill past the baseball field there. Building C is where you're going to be picking up your bibs and all of that good stuff. Also where your character pictures are going to be located. And then, of course, building B will be the main expo hall. So getting in, this is building A here. This is pretty much the most simplistic picture of what their setup is going to look like. But realistically, you'll be wrapping around the building and they'll have all sorts of stuff going on. So I'll move on from that. This is the bib pickup building, and you'll see the main entrance on that top left there and main exit on the bottom right. Just a general idea of where you're going to be going to pick up your bib, as well as towards the back where you will, or actually no, the photo ops are moved right in between where you enter and exit now. So that kind of swaps sides because it looks like challenge bibs are all the way in the back. No, it's characters too. Yeah. There's photo ops on both sides. I see. That's where I was mixed up. Challenge is in the middle now.
And for whatever reason, they gave the 5K like a huge.
Yeah, I feel like that half is like maybe actually going to be that space, but who knows?
This is interesting.
Yeah, it's like a weird.
Is that the scale?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what is the scaling?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
But then they actually released the map with the vendors this time, which the last couple race weekends they like basically just never released the map until like real late into the game, but this one actually launched, so you can see all of the vendors. Looks like it's going to be of a pretty decent size, so I'm pretty excited. I love to see a good, strong expo. There isn't anything super new popping out, but it does look like actually Brooks has a pretty big booth towards the back, right in between
Mm.
shirt pickup. So that's pretty good.
I love how they list Disney Vacation Club,
Yeah, they're always there.
They got to be there.
right?
They
Okay,
do like
yeah,
a
that's good.
drawing every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, pick up your $12 socks and a $30,000 contract.
Well, no, they got to get you
Uh,
signed up to drive you over to the place to sign you
oh,
up for the contract.
there you go. Don't do that on your run weekend. Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
This is
otherwise,
great
oh,
that they listed this
Belega,
out.
they haven't been at an expo
Yeah, that jumped
before
out
in a
at me. That
while.
was new. I love their socks. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yep, and
They
of
like
course,
them
Raw
too.
Threads is back too. Excited to
That's
see they
exciting.
returned at springtime. They're a great vendor to have at Run Disney. Of course, shout out to BB Brook as well. Yeah, looks like there's a couple new vendors in there, so that should be exciting to check out and see what people are offering.
Awesome.
Well, that actually will bring us into the race weekend, though. So we'll start with kind of all of the general stuff. Am I missing something?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll jump into all of the general stuff, the stuff that we can talk about for all of the weekends, the map of the reunion area, all of that, and then we'll go into our courses and our race specific information. Thank you for joining the show, Up for Adventure. Thanks for watching as well. We will have plenty more POV videos for this year. That is for sure.
With a fancy new camera.
Yeah, new camera.
Yeah, it takes way better video like in the dark. So I'm very excited to see like the first one from Wine and Dine.
You guys typically do an overview and release a video on the expo day, right? Do you do that
We
separate
do.
from some of Yeah. So I think that's a great way. I just plug it. If this is your first race or you're just curious what it all looks like, it's nice to see the setup and just how it's all done. So I would
Yeah, and
totally, take a look at your videos.
any of like the recent ones from Disney World, like since what 2022 are gonna be pretty much like how it is.
Yeah,
It's
especially
Mhm.
I
not
would
changed.
recommend rather than maybe the Wine and Dine one, check out the springtime one since that'll have all the Brooks information and
Mhm.
have us going through the Brooks process. That's going to be a really great one if you have questions about what that process looks like and how that fits into the expo day. So definitely check that one out. Moving into the races, some transportation notes here. We got the 5K, 10K, and half. This is available on the digital expo guide. But the 5K and 10K buses start from resorts at 3 a.m. and the half marathon 2:30 a.m. You should note that there is no monorail transportation for this weekend. So if you were staying on that monorail loop, you cannot utilize the monorail to get to the race resorts. You will just rely on the regular busing. And then we have the corral information. And looks like for everything but the 5K, corrals go out to G for this weekend and then F for the 5K. But these are your projected start times. And then I believe, nope, I did not put in the projected time that it says you have to be in the corral.
One thing to keep in mind if you're a first time like Run Disney person, you'll find out your corral letter when you pick up your bib. That's a common question. Like people like, how do we find out? It's just on your bib when you pick it up. Sometimes there's like speculation on Facebook. You can kind of estimate where you are before you get there if you find out your bib number, but it's not a too huge a deal to wait. But this is helpful to know how long you're going to be standing in a corral
Yep.
before your race starts, which is, I think, most important to time when you need to use the restroom and if you need to bring a snack or something to eat to make sure you're like fueling at the right time before you start running.
Yeah. Well, then we will move into this is the general Epcot parking lot map. You can see where the buses drop you off, Resort and Good Neighbor, or basically where the regular Epcot buses drop you off at. You go through the front Epcot security, and then you make the walk all the way over to that back lot where the actual area is. Reunion area is kind of where everyone hangs out and waits until the corrals open. And then the corrals or start groups, as we are calling them again, apparently, are over there towards the left. What you got?
I didn't know if there was an additional map that showed where the dog track. Yep, that's
Yep.
what I was looking for.
So more detailed, but this is pretty much what it's always looked like in the reunion area. The gear bag will actually be pretty much where the finish after the finish shoot is. Once you collect all of your goodies, that's where gear bag is, as well as AWD and all of the baby care and all of that other info. Food and beverage has moved up to next to the stage. Interesting to see how that is going to work and affect it. I never thought where it was before was any sort of issue. So curious to see why or how it's changed, or if they're just like shifting everything over.
That is different.
Maybe add some seating.
Yeah, some seating. I wonder, so they have the entertainment up there. I wonder if they're still going to do character photos in that spot, or if they're going to move to where like PhotoPass is listed.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shift around.
They'd really shake me up if they rearranged that reunion area.
Oh my gosh, yeah, our spot.
I know, our spot. How am I supposed to tell people where to go?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Anyways, though, you can see where bib check is. That's where you get into the start groups. Your last chance bathrooms and pre-race water is over on the left, and the start groups will be on the right in there. And then the actual start is on the left there, and that'll be the same for all of your races through the weekend. Once again, if you have any other questions about this, questions about the expo, or questions about specific races, go ahead, drop those in the chat, and we will answer them kind of as they come up or as we get to where it's relevant at. Or just say hi. We love to know that you're watching and you're in the chat here with us. But let's go ahead and move on. That brings us into the 5K, which I believe none of us here are running, right?
Not this
No
time.
5Ks for Steve?
No 5K. 5K is always tough for me to get to. I have to do
Yeah.
it though one day to just I want to do it when my kids are ready to do it, when they feel like they want to do it. And then just make it more of like, take the whole weekend off and that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
they seem
They're
like a lot of
fun.
fun,
They're
honestly.
casual. We like them.
They're very much a fun run. It's always fun to see like the younger kids who can do them, since the age limit is lower. And they're always having so much fun. And then a lot of times people like go more out on the costumes because it's not as like a fast of a race. So it's a good time. And this one will probably have really good costumes with the like Mulan theme. It's a good one.
And this is I love this 5K course so much. You're in the park right after one. You're just doing that little loop around the parking lot and through that backstage area. Even the backstage area is usually pretty like cool and entertaining if you've never been back there. You're going in right by test track there, and then you jut right to the center of the park. That whole area is just super well like themed with the lighting and everything.
Yeah, I will say, now that we've done it a few times, a word of caution when that first turn like towards World Showcase, like right here, I don't know how to describe it well. When you come out like from connections and turn, that always is like a weird like dark spot where sometimes it can be hard to see the people around you. And there's, I think, photo pass there, and so some people are doing,
it's a busy
crazy
area. People are stopping for photos.
Pay attention to where you're going, especially in that area, because I feel like every time I've like almost run into someone.
Yeah, but then you go right down to World Showcase. You get the whole loop through World Showcase there. A really nice full loop. You don't have to do any like going around France or any of that. You don't
leave backstage at all.
Yeah. And then you cut up that side over by Journeying to Imagination, over by the land, and you cut towards the center again. And you go right under Spaceship Earth there. You do that little loop. They do that awesome photo pass. One of my favorite photo pass spots of like every Run Disney race weekend is right there in front of Spaceship Earth with the fountain right in front of you. Awesome photos there. And then you just jut out the side there and you're done your 5K.
Would you guys sign up if we did that about 9 times for a marathon?
Like just in a circle?
Just kept going. Just kept doing the loop.
That'd be pretty wild.
It'd be pretty
see
fun.
A lot of people over and over again.
It'd be pretty fun. So I don't know. I was actually looking at this being like, oh, this is like super fun. And I'm like, man, how am I going to get up to 26.2 in a few months?
Yeah,
Anyway.
this is a great course. I really
Yeah.
like this 5K course. It is the same 5K course we've seen for like a year and a half now, but I think that's okay because of the Epcot 5K courses, this is it. This is the good one.
And they'll have lots of characters like sprinkled throughout like the Epcot bit, and usually like 5 or 6 in a 5K. So
Give or take, yeah.
yep. And this I like the Epcot when you're in Epcot and World Showcase, and the characters like lines and stuff can go into the different pavilions. It's just set up really well logistically.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that will bring us into the 10K. A little bit of a course shakeup here. It is still along similar lines of what we've seen for the 10K. This is the 10K and boardwalk loop, as I would call it. But they eliminated that little out and back that you used to do right in the beginning where you'd go out the Epcot sign, like to get to where you would pay for parking.
Which I always like that part. Because
Yeah.
they always play the music and have the lights.
Yeah,
okay.
but I think we've got some cool gains on this course. I think this is going to be a really, really cool 10K course. This is kind of similar to a really old version of this course, though, because you swing right out and you're actually going over to the highway and running the highway to get back into Epcot there. So the highway will be pretty nice and open as well. You'll have a lot of space to spread out pretty early in there.
Is that the highway where where we used to like corral for
Yes.
Princess and Marathon? Okay.
Yep. And we used to run this for the 10Ks pretty often on a course that was similar to this. But you were in the park at, looks like about mile 1.8, 1.9. And then you're pretty much on stage for everything but a little jaunt around mile 5 there. Because you get a pretty good little loop there. You're going basically right by Guardians there. And then over and not quite to the center. Let me actually get a larger picture of this map here. Give me just 1 second.
You're getting like all of Epcot in this one. Which
Yeah,
is
you get a
really,
ton
really
of
awesome.
Epcot. It is insane.
And the whole boardwalk loop, which we sometimes you only get like half one side or the other, and the whole boardwalk loop is always really fun as well. They do some good photo pass, like action shots on the boardwalk too.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. This is it.
So you going a little backstage at mile 5? Is that what that is?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
we
a
go
little
by
bit of backstage here.
Yeah, we should see the wood only dumpster, but from the other direction.
The wood only dumpster was gone last time, though.
No, it was just moved.
All right.
I saw it.
Here we go. That's a little bit better for us to talk about. Yeah, so I will say, though, because of the way this is shaped, there's probably going to be a little bit of crowding, especially in this, like, mile 2. There's lots of little tight turns and stuff in Epcot. But with that, you're getting a lot of Epcot time. Yeah, so you're kind of going around that, I don't even remember what world they call, like, World Future, I think it is, in there, because you're going over by Guardians, and then you're not going to the center there to World Celebration. You're cutting around the side and going to the center, to World Showcase, and then you're going around the gift shop buildings. Yeah, that area can be a little bit tight too.
Yeah, but down to the water, which I know we've done that at the end of some races before. They take you down to the water and then around.
Oh, you're going behind it?
Yeah.
You're going all the way down along the lagoon there.
Yeah, you're pretty much right along the water, and then you're getting pretty much the whole World Showcase loop there. The only difference is you're actually not, usually we go out by the UK, like you run through the UK and go out the back. Instead, you're going to be cutting a hard left and going straight out the back entrance to Epcot first. And then you're doing the Boardwalk, Yacht Club, Beach Club. It is the opposite direction that we've done it for the 10Ks the last couple years. You're doing Boardwalk first as opposed to Yacht Club first there.
Get the hill out of the way earlier.
I suppose so.
A little bit.
Oh, that's right.
You still have to come back up it the other way, though.
Wear some stable shoes on this one. There's a lot of tight turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely some tight turns. That Epcot and the back of Yacht Club can definitely be slippery too, especially if they had pressure washed it that night, which they usually do. But then you are heading back in towards Epcot, and you are coming in by the UK pavilion where we usually go out, running through Canada, and again taking that side path up by Journey into Imagination. And then here you are cutting out again, and that's where you're going out by that wood only dumpster area. And then you are swinging back around the seas, and you're coming in basically right between the seas and Spaceship Earth. That path is always kind of cool. Like, expect there could be some really good photo pass opportunities there with the Spaceship Earth behind you. I really hope they take advantage of that. And then you're cutting in through World Nature, going to the center, and going all the way around World Celebration in like that perfect circle to go over. Again, you're getting that cool shot right in front of Spaceship Earth. You're going through Spaceship Earth there twice, and then you get that nice finish right there after mile 6. I think this could be a really cool course.
Yeah.
Again, definitely some opportunity for some crowding though.
Looks like at the end, when like that little bit around Spaceship Earth, we're going further up.
You are, yeah. You're going
all the way to the front.
all the way to the like turnstiles basically,
Yeah.
and then swinging back around.
Interesting.
I
That
like
is
this.
interesting.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm also glad there's no water stop like on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right? With that, like,
Right by
when they
Swan
put-
Dolphin.
yeah, and they put that in that little tight area.
It's where that medical stop is now, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see that probably for the half marathon when we jump
Ah.
into that course as well. Yeah, I really think this 10K course might be the best course of the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how some of the spots that kind of look tight to us, how they actually end up shaking out. Because, I mean, Epcot has pretty wide paths and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely. Well, I already peeked it up here, but why don't we get into this half marathon course? So we got some, I would say, a little shakeup. I know. Actually, we have a couple course shakeups here. It still kind of aligns with what we've seen for the Wine and Dine half marathon course, just with a couple weird twists in there. But the beginning is pretty close to what we've been seeing. You do the start, and again, we are actually going out towards the highway instead of just swinging right and going around the parking lot. We'll give you a couple more lanes to spread out early there, up until you get pretty much towards Epcot. So there should be a lot of room between like half a mile all the way to like almost mile 2, about mile 1 and like 3/4 or so. Should be a good amount of room for you to spread out and run there, which will be really nice. And then once you're in mile 2, you are in Epcot. You're doing that World Showcase loop. And then this time you are going all the way to the UK Pavilion to hang that left to exit the park there. And then again, we are cutting around the boardwalk loop, the boardwalk side. And you're going to be running that tight path. That's where your water stop is, Steve. It's going to be an absolute pain.
I don't know why they keep doing that over there. I don't remember that. I think there was a time they didn't put it there. It's such a bad spot. Anyway.
That's
Yeah.
the one by Swan Dolphin, right?
Yeah, it's just tight, and it's a hard spot.
I don't
It
know. I
is.
think it's better than doing it where
On the path?
on the water path.
That's probably
Ah.
true.
But
where
it's hard. It is hard to get over to it. Like
It's
if
like
you're,
on
if
the
you're
corner.
not on the right side, like it's
Couldn't you just move it out to the highway right there once you get out? What is that? That's not World Drive. Whatever that is right there. But anyway, no big thing.
Well, you're not
Just
on
be
the
mindful.
highway again for a couple miles. But I always thought, why don't they do it in the Hollywood Studios parking lot?
Yeah, that's
Seems
got a
like
good amount of room
the way
usually.
easier way to do it, but that would be too far away, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're running that path along the water. Again, that section will probably be tight. Pack your patience, especially if you're in that later corral. It can be hard to move through that, but you make your way to Hollywood. And then Hollywood has some pretty interesting course change up here as well. Sorry, as my headphones are falling out. You're entering Hollywood the same way that we usually do, kind of right around the side of the main entrance there. And then you're cutting over and entering the park, going down the main road there and hanging that left to go over around Echo Lake by Gertie there. And then you're heading past Star Tours and making your way through the tunnel to go through Galaxy's Edge. You get that kind of outer section of Galaxy's Edge there, all the way through to Toy Story Land. Toy Story Land's one of my favorite lands to run through at night. if you're there once it's still dark, just because like the lighting in that park and stuff is really cool. But then this is kind of where it changes, because instead of going left and going right back to the center of the park, you're actually hanging right by that Pixar, like little Pixar corner of the park, and you're going to be going through a backstage area real quick and coming back out basically by where Star Tours is. And then you're going to have a little bit of back and forth with the runners who are about to enter Galaxy's Edge. So definitely some potential for that section to be a little bit tight if it's 2 lanes there. And you're hanging a left over by that restaurant there, by like Sci-Fi Diner. And then you're going to be finally heading towards the center, and then going back down towards Tower of Terror, and then out the backside of the park there up by the Phantasmic stage. So definitely some switch ups there, but it gets you a little bit more park time as well. So it definitely feels like you've maximized a little bit more park time with all of the courses this weekend.
This is wild.
Yeah,
It is an interesting course.
man, there's a lot of tight turns in there too.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Definitely a windy course
I
with
don't
these.
understand some of these changes, but maybe I know there's construction and stuff happening in Hollywood that might be like blocking normal ways. This is interesting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But then
At least
you are...
it's, by mile 5, you'll get some separation already, right? So maybe there'll be some room, even in the back corrals, potentially.
Yeah.
I'm being
Sure.
hopeful.
Once you hit mile 5.5, you got plenty of highway to spread out
Yeah,
on,
you're good
and
after that.
plenty of room, because you are pretty much dropping highway miles until mile 12. So yeah, you're gonna be heading towards basically Coronado Resort there, heading down that little hill, and where we used to do the loop that went around it, you will actually be doing the Blizzard Beach parking lot. So if
Heck
you have not
yeah.
run Marathon Weekend and gotten to experience that level of tragedy, you will.
I think we're all being a little dramatic about the Blizzard Beach parking lot because
Oh yeah, we are.
mile 7 is going to feel so much better than mile 20, 21, 22.
Well, and it felt better this year because it was further into the race too.
Yeah, and it was a
I-
cooler day.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you an interesting perspective of seeing other people, right? Like you can kind of see everyone behind you, in front of you, like when you get into that parking lot. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because it's going to be so much earlier in the day for me,
Yeah.
especially. But I mean, it could still be pretty dark for a lot of people, and then sun just barely coming up for
Yeah,
a
well,
lot of them. Especially
Geezer
without the
Gate
time
mentioned
change.
here, yeah, we don't have the time change like we usually do for
Hmm.
Wine and Dine, so it will be pretty much darker for, especially like most of my race will be almost completely dark.
Yeah.
Which
That
is
extra
fine. It's
hour
still
was
fun.
extra hour was so cool to have.
Beautiful.
It's made
And
it
I
part
will
of. This is why my
say,
favorite weekend.
yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I will miss the extra hour of sleep, but I will say too, one really positive thing about this. So like when we do this kind of course and this road at like springtime and then Wine and Dine last year where we didn't have the parking lot to go through, we kind of just did an out and back on the road. They usually have a really good like entertainment set up in Blizzard Beach for the marathon because they have so much room, like a character and music. Obviously they have the food and the water stop right there, so it gives a good opportunity for a little bit more like fun entertainment than we might get if we didn't go through the Blizzard Beach parking
It's just
lot.
going to be the Green Army men yelling at us on the highway.
Potentially.
Please bring them out. Yeah,
I
no,
love it.
honestly though, I don't think this Blizzard Beach loop will be that bad. You're not 20 some miles into a marathon in the
Yeah.
hot sun. Like, you're halfway there. You just got to make your way back to Epcot. I think it will be fine, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun.
And then again, yeah, you get that little back and forth with the runners there. I always like those types of sections there where you can like cheer and holler and look for people you know. But then you are heading back and you're taking that long merge with that hairpin turn to get onto World Drive. You're on World Drive for looks like about a mile, which really isn't too bad before you're hitting that famous Epcot overpass and doing those rolling hills towards the end there. That's going to bring you to mile 11 by that hairpin turn right at the top there. And then you just got 2 miles to go. You have basically another mile to get back into Epcot. And then once that, you have just a pretty quick jaunt. Unfortunately, we don't have a good finish for this one. We've got the out the side of Guardians finish. But I do really like because you go towards World Showcase and then you run right towards Spaceship Earth at the end there. I always like that shot there. There's usually a good photo stop there where you can get your picture in front of Spaceship Earth. So I do like that section. And then out by connections around Mission Space and around Guardians for your finish. So yeah, definitely an interesting course. I mean, I would reserve judgment until we've run it and we see what it feels like.
I mean, it's overall very similar to Springtime and Wine and Dine from last year too. Um, and from my Springtime memory, like, it feels fairly crowded until you exit Hollywood every time, and then you have half a race that's out on the road that you can spread out and really get back into your like actual running groove. So that's always how I think about it. I kind of split the race into two halves, and like the fun park half, and then the get into my groove and try to finish it up half.
Yeah, a couple comments and questions here. Also, this year, again, we talked about it being dark because of the time change. Yeah, I suspect that I will pretty much be running almost completely in the dark for my race.
Yeah, it's gonna be dark a lot longer for mine too, which will be interesting.
Yeah, looks like a fun half course. Other than Blizzard Beach parking, how does this compare to 2021's course? This is way different than 2021. 2021, yeah, that was the course that went through. You started at the MK parking lot.
Oh, still?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because that was the first one back. And that you ran through AK. That was my favorite half
Those
course. I loved that half course. So very, very different from that course. But the benefit to this course is you get the most Hollywood time that we've ever gotten on a Run Disney race. So I think that should be something to at least look forward to.
When did we start running through Galaxy's Edge? Like, was it springtime 2023?
It was that first springtime, yeah, that first 10 miler.
Yeah, that was the first time they did this kind of start through Epcot, run to Hollywood and back type.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve says, love the content. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. And good luck this weekend going full mouse gen for the 10K, running a faster pace than normal, but hitting every character stop.
See, the key to going full mouse gen, though, is you have to tell yourself that you're going to take it easy.
That is true. Yeah. You are going to tell everyone that you're going to run a much slower pace than you end up running.
Yeah, that's part of going full mouse gen.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Jason says, this will be my first half ever. Really can't wait for 5.5 to 12. Not sure if you're being sarcastic or not, to be honest.
That seems sarcastic. That seems sarcastic. I'm going to take that as sarcastic.
But it is a good, like, get in the zone and, like, maybe go for some negative splits because you don't have crowds. And
yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you have a very frustrating first half of a crowded race, like,
he's very sarcastic.
You can get to that part and you can open up and just like enjoy yourself a little bit. Yes, most of your park time is over, but having room, it can sometimes be a commodity in a Run Disney race.
So, like, in these things where we have like the second half all on the road, they do have some like characters and entertainment out there, especially at Disney World. I know Disneyland doesn't, but Disney World does. It's a good chance to look around, look at all the costumes around you, and think about the things you've seen so far. Meditate.
No.
Jason did say very sarcastic. Hunter said, I did the 10 miler in 23. I didn't know that was the first time through Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say something about this comment here about I'm in a later corral, so hopefully there will be some sun. Now, I'm looking at the 14-day AccuWeather right now, okay? All right, and this is not a forecast yet because we're not even in the 10-day range, but 87 as a high on Friday with 70 as a low. 84 on Saturday with 71 as a low, and 87 on Sunday with 70 as a low. That's hot. Starting your race at 5 a.m. at 70 degrees in Florida and having it be a high of 87 during the day. It's a warm race. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, but, you'd rather see like what we're having right now, which is like today it was, 64?
Oh, yeah. It was
high of 80. It was beautiful this morning. The run this morning was really nice. Like our humidity, our dew point has dropped like almost by 10 degrees. It makes life so much nicer when you're going out in your training runs. So I don't know, Hunter, if you're from Florida or not, or live, in a warmer climate, but be careful what you wish for with the sun. I may have to run a little faster now, given that.
Are you looking at your weather for over where you live, or?
I actually probably looked at the
We've got
AccuWeather
some
and
lows of
Our
62, lows of
lows are
63.
in
okay.
the low 60s for
Let's hope.
high
And
temperatures.
our weather is usually typically very similar between Orlando and Tampa. Sometimes,
I'm
actually, I
gonna
think
see.
because I'm closer to the Gulf, that we might be a little cooler. But
Hey,
I'm not gonna curse us. I'm gonna wait until a few days out to
lots of first
really.
halves and first races in the chat tonight too. Thank you all for coming and watching. I hope you find our information of value. If you have questions, now is definitely the time to open anything about the race weekend. Run Disney what you have, because we will sit here, rattle off some questions, always talk some gear. We can't have Steve on the show without talking some gear.
Gotta talk about the party too.
Oh
Yep, I
yeah, we do
have.
have the post race party to talk about too.
Yes. I do have a friend in the neighborhood that's going to be running. He's also a first timer. So we'll have some new folks to introduce you to, and hopefully they get as addicted as the rest of us. I just realized that I have done every weekend this year. I
Oh,
don't think
cool.
that's a
Oh, you
first.
have, haven't you?
Yeah,
That's a
I
big deal
didn't.
for Steve, guys.
Yeah, I usually I skip probably at least two of the weekends typically, but I did the marathon, the Princess Half, and I had to get the Hercules 10K medal for springtime. It was the
Yeah.
first time I saw a medal that I was like that. The medal made me
Metal made you
sign up for the
motivated, yeah.
race. Yes. And this year's kind of fun. The Lady and the Tramp stuff is cool. Very different. I Wine and Dine. They tend to swing big for Wine and Dine. Like one year, remember they did the Soul medal.
Yeah, they do weird things for Wine and Dine. Sometimes I get really angry about it.
I'm kind of into the deep cuts sometimes. Like it's sometimes they're just like, well, we're not going to do
here's my
necessarily the people pleasers.
here's my thing. It's Wine and Dine for food and wine. So why are we doing just villains?
I know. Well, Lake and I probably agree. Maybe you do too. We know my favorite medal of all time is Apple
Oh, Apple
Pie
Pie Mickey.
I love Apple Pie
Mickey.
Apple Pie Mickey's
Mickey.
great.
That's my favorite medal.
Yeah.
It's tough to live to
I also just
after
love
that.
good like Epcot
We love
representation in the
yeah, because
medals.
Epcot's so fun. I will say I wasn't gonna do Dopey this year, and they announced the book theme, and I was like,
She's in.
I'm in. They got me.
It's a good theme. It's a good set of medals. Maybe one of my favorites for that weekend. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They
Well,
did not rest on the laurels this year. They
Before we go
definitely
to
themed it
post
up.
race party, do you want, because we had the question in Instagram about if we were gonna do a meetup, but do you want to show like where we might approximately be in the parking lot after the races? Or
we'll swing
talk
back
about
to
it?
that.
Okay, we'll swing back to it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get through our content. We can keep going. We have a couple more questions here that we'll circle back to. Post race party. So, post race party is, of course, Sunday night after the half marathon. If you're running the challenge or the half marathon, you have an included ticket that will be mailed to you. If you did not get that ticket before the race weekend, go to runners relations, or typically I believe the ticket office that is outside the Run Disney merch gear at the expo is where they also handle that as well. They'll get you taken care of. It's happened to us, easy peasy, no problem getting that fixed for us in the past. The party is, of course, at Epcot. It takes place from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., but you can get into the park at 5 p.m. We love to get in there, do like maybe a little early dinner reservation, or ride some attractions that may not be open for the party. And then once the party starts, food and wine is going in full force. And then they do have attractions running, and they've actually added some attractions from last year, because Living with the Land used to not be open for the party, and this year it is open for the party, which I am pretty pumped about. But Soarin', new test track will be open, Living with the Land, Frozen Ever After, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and Guardians of the Galaxy will, of course, be open. Guardians is usually your big one with a pretty solid line for the night. I will say, I wouldn't say lines for the big ones like Guardians and Remy's are and Test Track will probably be kind of long since it is newly renovated. Some of those definitely do get up to at least an hour. Typically, we ride Guardians like last thing at night. That'll be the last thing we do, and every time the line has definitely been overstated. We've waited like, it'll say it's like an hour, and I don't think we've waited more than like maybe 20, 25 minutes. But sometimes they will also cut that line a little bit early. So you don't want to try to push it to get in line like right at 1 a.m. Definitely go. I think we usually get in line maybe around like 12 or 12:20 to go and ride that. Test track is probably the big one that I would love to hit during the party since I have not done the new version of it.
Oh, you haven't done it.
Nope.
Not the new
I
one.
have. It's I don't know. There's been some, as always, when they change something, it's divisive. We really enjoyed it. I won't give any spoilers away, but I think it's great.
I am excited for. I've heard good things. There will be, some exclusive merch at the party. They released this pin. It's available at Connections, I believe. I want to say they said it's like 7 o'clock. Did I put that in here? No, I did not.
Yeah, there's a certain, and this is something that usually does like sell out. So if this is important to you, like you do need to find the line and get in line for it first thing, unfortunately. But
It always feels like such a random merch release for this, and the line
It
does
always-
not feel like an efficient use of time for the party, to be honest.
but it sells out every time.
It does. You're right.
So.
You're right. But yeah, party is a good time though. There's a DJ going pretty much all around World Showcase. There's like fun little dance parties and stuff. Typically, there's like an exclusive specialty drink that comes with some sort of like glow glass. I have not seen what that's gonna be yet.
They did. Carissa and John Pelkey
They did
an Instagram video. I'm sure it's on like the RunDisney Instagram reels if you wanted to go find it, and they showed the drink.
Yeah,
it looks to me the same as it looks every single year, but they do have it.
It's always some sort of pre-batch mixed drink with like blue curacao in it and a glow cube.
Yeah.
That's about the two ingredients that's required for a wine and dine drink.
We didn't mention it. They do usually bring out special characters during the party that are somewhat on theme to the race. So that's always fun, and they'll be all through. They'll have a map that shows you where they are, but they'll be all throughout like World Showcase and stuff. And sometimes, depending on the character, lines can build up for those as well.
Yes, if the characters and getting your picture like with the characters for the themes is important to you, that will take up a good amount of your time. They usually are long pretty much the entire night. So just something to keep in mind.
I think a good strategy for the party is to actually kind of think about it before you go, especially if it's your first time, and think about what is most important to you. Like if you want to wait in line and ride all the rides, like expect to do that, and don't maybe expect to wait in line and meet all the characters and vice versa.
Yeah, it seems like a long time, but it goes by so quick.
Really fast, yeah, but it's so fun.
Guys, I hate to be abrupt. I need to get these little guys to sleep.
You are all good, Steve. Thank you for joining us.
It's so good it's so good to be back and interact with everybody. And I'm going to see you guys.
What shoes are you running the half in?
All right, so I'm going to need your help in deciding. That's where I'm at. Oh my God, I've got so many things. I love my Adios Pro 4s. I still have my old Pro 3s. But I also, I'm trying to run this as an easy run because it's kind of a training run leading into marathon, and then maybe throwing in a couple tempo or like marathon pace miles in there if I'm feeling pretty good, depending on things. So I just ordered the most ridiculous shoe, the Nike Vomero Premiums. I don't know if you've seen these, like, Katie. They're like 55 millimeter stack. They're huge. I promised myself I wasn't going to buy another pair of shoes, but I'm completely out of my mind. So all of that word salad to say is I have no idea yet. I think the front runner is probably my Adios Pro 4s. They were really fun to run in last week for a training run.
Like the Pro 4s, they're a good shoe.
It's such a fun. Adidas is doing a great job. I think Asics has some great stuff. I've heard the Mega Blast is an awesome shoe. But more than anything, if you're watching this, if you're new, this first half marathon, first long distance, don't ever wear anything you haven't tried when you're training. Don't make the mistakes that I have made before, and you end up at the finish line bloodied or, a blister or whatever. We've all been there. So yeah, don't run anything. Don't put on anything that you haven't run in before. So I'll be texting you for assistance because I have like 10 shoes in my rotation and I don't know what to do. So.
All right, let's do it. Well, thank you again for joining us, Steve. We always appreciate having you, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
I will. All right, guys. Good seeing you guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up with these medals real quick, and then we'll answer any lingering questions we have here. 5K medal. I like this one actually with the shape of the China pavilion behind it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that's
it's a
pretty
very
cool.
cute medal.
And then 10K, you got Olaf with the picnic basket here. This one's just fine to me, to be honest.
Yeah, I will say like the artwork, and it's part of the reason I don't love the merch. Like the artwork of the weekend isn't my favorite. I love like the Lady and the Tramp theme, but I don't love
The breakfast,
the
lunch, and
medals
dinner
and
thing
stuff.
is kind of like a weird choice.
I
I do
get
like
it.
this
I
one
get
though.
it.
I like the half marathon one with the
Um,
plate of the spaghetti being the 13.1.
I think maybe I'll like it better in person. I don't know. It just looks like really like kiddie-ish to me. I don't know. It looks like a coloring book. I don't know.
I like it. And then the challenge one, this one I'm
I
kind of
don't
mid on
like
as well.
it. I also
But
don't
you
like
got the three fairy. I guess I just like I don't know what the three fairies like how
They
they fit into the theming.
they made the birthday cake. That's dessert. Because it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and they made the cake.
That is interesting.
Have you? Well, I know you've seen Sleeping Beauty. They make a cake in the movie with magic.
Yeah, well, still
Well,
just not
actually,
my favorite
first,
of them.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so someone asked what time the party ended again. Yes, 1
1 a.m.
a.m. And then just something to note, at getting home at night, you cannot utilize the Skyliner or the monorail. You
Just
can get them to get there, but they end after Epcot's
yeah,
regular park hours end, so you will not be able to utilize those alternate transportations.
yeah.
Everything else will just be busing or walking
Drive
if you're in that back. Yes,
or
driving
driving
as
yourself.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I get some poor timing on the I'll be running the Endorphin Pros out of the box. Well, I mean, if it's a shoe you're comfortable with and I mean, I understand wearing like an elite pair of shoes out of
Yeah.
the box for a race.
I've worn a brand new pair of shoes before, but it's a style of shoe that I had. Yeah.
Absolutely. Someone had asked, never ran a Run Disney race, but watching your videos, for the most part, your group was able to pretty quickly get character pictures. Do the wait times for character shots get longer as the crowd start? Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Some of them get very, very long. We are lucky in the earlier corrals that we move fast enough that we don't have a lot of lines, which is how I can get the content that I get. Um,
You can always do selfies. And then a fun, I don't do character stops. It's not important to me. But one thing that I've seen some people do, especially if they're like a little group, is they'll each like kind of pick a character. They're like, if we see this one, like we're gonna stop for this one, and or each person in the group gets one like like we're gonna
must stop.
we're gonna stop here, and then you'll skip some other ones, and so you kind of learn your um, pacing and your own strategy for that. And then if you are running with a watch, just like keep an eye. Don't let your watch like pause your run when you stop running. Like keep an eye on your average pace if that's a concern. There's a lot of different little strategies you can use to still get your characters and keep running.
Yeah. Geezer Gate says, good old Hoka Rocket X2. Love my Rocket X2s. And the Hunter says, submitted a good time. Hopefully, I won't be at the back again. Good luck. We hope you have a solid proof of time and can get out there and have a good race. Don't forget Metal Monday at Magic Kingdom. Great way to enjoy the extended weekend. Yeah, we've never done it for Wine and Dine. Marathon Weekend is our big. We love.
Did it for Wine and Dine last year, didn't we? Because we stayed here.
Oh, I guess we kind of did. Yeah, we started a vacation where we camped at Fort Wilderness after that. I don't remember if we went to Magic or not, though.
Well, we would have gone and we would have had to like set up a tent, so maybe not.
Yeah.
We would have had to drive to Fort Wilderness and set up a tent.
Yeah, I do think this weekend, I feel like Epcot is like the metal picture play. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously with the after party and everything, like it kind of incorporates the photo shoot time. And then hopefully we get better weather than Marathon Weekend half morning. That was a rough one. Yeah, that was worth it for the excellent marathon weather in my eyes, though.
Yeah. I had such a terrible half day, but that full day was great. It was a great day.
I agree. And then, oh, hi. Good to see you, GN. Hope to see you during the weekend. I will always run into you in a character stop line at the end of the race. Always.
Yep.
But yeah. I will keep it going for just another minute or two here. If you have any other last minute questions. Oh, someone had asked if we were doing a meetup in one of the, I think on Instagram. So we won't have like an official formal meetup for Wine and Dine. But we will post a couple places like where we'll be at. I will be at Expo first day. I will be running around doing things, but please, if you see us, feel free to stop. Like, we're there to chat and have a good time, say hi, and all of that. We'll be kind of all over for the Expo the first day. And then for the 10K and the half marathon, we will be hanging out after the race for a little while. We've got nowhere to be, I think. Typically, again, the staging area and everything might change. I usually post about where we'll be, but typically, if you're looking at like the entertainment stage and the characters, there is a set of bleachers there. We're almost always to the right of the bleachers. But again, follow us on Instagram at mouse.gen, and we usually post in our stories like, hey, we're done. This is, about where we're standing. Or you can always just message us, and we'll more than happy to come and meet up. And yeah, that is pretty much all I got.
Yeah, and we'll be at the after party too. So if you have a ticket and you're going to that, we're usually moving around doing stuff, but let us
I
know.
had one more question from somewhere that I need to locate real quick.
Oh, is on the post.
It was on one of the posts. Oh, any after party tip? I think we kind of covered like after party tips. Especially for doing the rides. Yeah, do single rider if you can. But yeah, really you have to pick and choose what you want to do for the after party, because unfortunately you can not get it all done. And then Jason says, I've got to get back and nap after the half.
Oh, that is a good tip that we didn't talk about that we usually do, is we try to...
We sleep all day.
We try to sleep as much that day as we can.
But yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you were just kind of hanging out, we appreciate you all being here. Once again, thank you to our Patreons, patreon.com/mousegen. And then that link, our merch link, is all down below, as well as Katie's fundraising link.
Remember, if you're late, if you donate from now this moment until the end of the month, you'll be entered into a drawing. 3 prizes. A hat or a jersey, your choice, another hat or a jersey, your choice, and then $100 Disney gift card is the third option. And any donation of any amount gets you entered. And I really appreciate your support. And so does the American Cancer Society.
Absolutely. But that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate you all being here. If you're running Wine and Dine Half Marathon, please, again, even if you're not watching live, comment what you're running. Let us know how your training's going, all of that fun stuff, and we will see you next time. But until then, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all of that fun YouTube-y stuff. But see you guys.
Thanks, bye.